Hello, this is Kylie J.N.S. and happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. Or would you guys go to happy hour or something? It says 5:52 p.m. But anyways, I really wanted to cover this story with this baby girl. Her name is Aluana Green, but they call her Tan DaGod. Yeah, so Tan DaGod, she was 27 years old. As we know, she was killed around 5 p.m. on Saturday. What was Saturday? That was the 14th, right? Or was it the 13th? It was Friday. That was the 13th, right? So yeah, she was killed as she was in front of a glamour beauty supply store on Telegraph Avenue. Now, when I first heard this story, I thought it was they reported it as if it was her beauty supply store, like that it was doing this grand opening of a beauty supply store. It was hers, and then some niggas just rolled up and just shot her dead in front of, so of course everybody was like, oh my gosh, like how could this happen, like what can they what's going on. But come to find out, from what I'm understanding, it wasn't her beauty supply store, but it was supposed to be like a meet and greet. And so she was posting the videos, and unfortunately, the store was celebrated as grand opening, and as she was in front of the store, uh, yeah, they let off shots in front of her. And this is just unfortunate. So first of all, I want to say IRP to her, or maybe she's not resting in peace or power. She may be in tranquil. I'm not a medium, so I'm not going to act like I can contact this girl, or this girl's came to me, because I don't. I she just hasn't. I'm just speaking on commentary in terms of the energy deficit, though, that I can feel was created, though, in terms of her energy marker being snatched off out of 3D. And again, I don't think this lady deserved to die, and I'm pretty sure she was set up by people around her. However, there was some context that was missing from this story. Um, and that I want to talk about in a broader level, in terms of women, um, that deals with domestic violence, and how do we move on in terms of healing after dealing with domestic violence? Like, what are healthy coping mechanisms after trauma, um, relating to domestic violence? So a situation doesn't spiral or blow back from our actions of a situation in which we may have been justified, are not taken to the extreme where you create an energy deficit and then the energy blow back on you, and somebody is justified in taking your life. And so I'll speak to that context. So the baby girl, um, she she was a rapper. She does the rapping thing. And during the shooting, well, the context of this shooting was that it was possibly revenge for a situation in which she had to defend herself. From what we're hearing, is that she was in a domestic violence situation with her ex, and um, he was hitting on her, and I guess they got into some altercation where she thought it was life or death, or she, self defense, and so she decided to kill him. And yeah, she killed him, and was able to get off, and was put in witness protection or something like that. Was it called witness protection or witness custody, something like that? So she was able to do that. And so, as far as the case and whatnot, they let her off, but I guess the block was hot enough to where she had to go into um, protective custody, because to be honest, she was, after she got at the ex for doing what he did to her. It was life or death. She felt like she had to. It was her life was in danger. She had to do it in self defense. She offed him. The courts let her off or whatever. They found presumably some sort of evidence proving that, okay, she was justified. They let her off. But what she went and did afterwards, okay, this is where the energy deficit was created. I actually want to just read this verbatim a little bit because I don't want to get my facts wrong, and I'm pretty sure more has came out. And if you guys know more, you guys please let me know. But let's actually just read it so that way we can get more context. Because I read this yesterday, but like I don't remember. Okay, so we have a black owned business because she supported. Okay, okay, I don't know about that. Okay, so during the shooting, shoppers ducked for cover in a nearby donut store. An employee at the shop named Vincent explained what he witnessed when the violence broke out. I hear some shots, and I thought the shots were part of the music. Good God, he thought the shots were a part of the damn song, the performance, and he thought of the shots were part of the performance. And then he heard three really loud shots, and then I think the rapper was screaming, "I'm hit, I'm hit," and she was lying on the ground until medics came. Another witness who works at the Korean barbecue restaurant near the beauty store said the young rapper appeared to be targeted by the shooter. He was targeting her only because I saw it. He wasn't shooting at everybody, he was just shooting at her. So witnesses said that the violence began with a verbal altercation, and the shooter was a black man wearing a hoodie that ran away on foot. By the evening, devastated friends and relatives gathered outside Glamour Beauty Supply to lay flowers and tributes to the music artist. One person was seen sobbing on the ground. A friend counseled them beside a scattering of red roses left by the mourners. Okay. So she was so hip hop artist Mr. Fab posted a tribute to the Green saying she was booked to be at the store opening with her. Okay. So he was supposed to be at the store with her, but God had other plans. He probably did that. Honestly, this is the industry rap shit. He probably already knew they was about to offer motherfucking ass and didn't even decide to show up. And that's allegedly. I ain't saying he did, but I know how grimy and wicked these people are in this industry. I wouldn't put nothing past them. The violence is beyond understanding. The hurt, the pain, the trauma has made a for everlasting impact. He wrote beside a photo of Green. Tend to God, I will always remember you as a hustling ass go getter with a world of ambition, drive, and courage, and a big heart big as Texas. So let's talk about the context. Okay. So fans have speculated that the rapper's murder might have been fueled by ongoing tension between Green, which is the rapper, and her ex-boyfriend's family. So Green served jail time for shooting her ex-boyfriend in self-defense in 2020. Wow. So she was shooting her boyfriend in self-defense in 2020. After she was released, she was placed in protective custody, which she left to attend the fucking meet and greet. A resurfaced video from September 2023 showed Green sparking up a blunt next to a fake tombstone that read, "Here lies my ex," as she promoted her newest EP, Ex Wood Pack. Her recent song was said to be a diss track about her late ex. A picture of the two, who is displayed on the cover with his face replaced with a burning blunt. Oh, you should have never died. You should have never played with me because then I got to take it to the third degree. Mm, that sounds like some Mason shit. Green said in the video as she giggled and faced the tombstone, I got to this to be extra. I got this to be extra fucking childish, making families mad. Oh well, because they ain't gonna do shit about it. Boom, spiritual deficit created. This was where she went wrong. So courts found it justified. Okay, you was in self defense. You're in protective custody. That sounds like I don't know what's the difference. What's the difference between protective custody and witness protection? Is those the same thing? What is protective custody? Let me just look at this real quick. Protective custody meaning, because obviously the block is hot with this type of stuff. Okay, safety measure that can be used to protect people from harm in various settings. Okay, so she was in protective custody. She decides to leave to go to the meet and greet. But what's fucked up is this stuff right here. And she's a woman that thinks that this kind of stuff is okay. And a lot of these women, I mean, she got she's you see it right on your screen. R.I.P. Here lies my ex. You don't use this energy. And she in R.I.P. because, like I said, two people lost their lives here. She lost her life. She was trying to do the rapping thing and do the meet and greet and get some and get some clout. But my thing is riding off of the energy, because this clearly looks riding off of the energy of the X for the music industry, a demonic music industry at that. Um, it begs the question, you know, I want to know more about this case in terms of of this self-defense. Was he a sacrifice to get her to move up to the other end, and this shit was botched? Because, and then that may be too extreme. I don't even want to get into the conspiratorial aspect of this. I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to actually cut any conspiratorial aspect of that out. I'm going to talk esoteric, but her taking one justified action because she was in danger and felt her life was in danger, and then making a mockery out of it to generate clout, humor, and even money in the music industry off of the death of someone who had to lose their life. That that's where the energy deficit was created, believe it or not. Because when we talk about coping mechanisms for healing, and her getting her get back, she got her lit back. She took him out, and she got off. She got off with it. Was it doing the music thing? Wasn't smart about the protective custody thing, but she got off with it. But what she went wrong is antagonizing that man's family, because that is somebody's son. Now, could he have been redeemed from being a woman beater? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he was just not, just wrong as hell. And she smoked him, but she should have left it at that. And to be honest, she should have had sympathy for that family, because she had to take him out. Now, I ain't saying I have sympathy for him. I'm saying his mother, and a lot of times maybe the other women may say, well, those people of his family ain't shit because he ain't shit, or whatever. They maybe they feel that way, and maybe they'll justify it that way. But we're just talking about protective measures of oneself, and also not adding fuel to the fire of an already extremely hostile situation. Because this family was very angry. And she said it right here. She said, I got this to be extra fucking childish, making families mad. Oh, well, because they ain't going to do shit about it, really. That's very antagonistic to say. You say, you should have never died. You should have never played with me, because then I got to take it to the third degree. And then she giggled. I'm not going to play this video because it's just low vibe.
Should have never
Oops, let
died.
me, but you see it in front of your screen. RP, here lies Mac. You don't do that. This was your interview. They want to hear your music. We don't need to see at X's tombstone to promote a EP. Like, now people can get into like, okay, was this your sacrifice, whatever. But we ain't even gonna go all there with that, because if he was beating her and she got off, then she got off. Or this could be a deal. Honestly, when people getting protective custody from the government and all that shit, and informant, when they step in like that, she's an informant. That's pretty much what that sound like to me. That the motherfucker's an informant. Um, that could have been literally somebody that made a deal with the government on a back end and took the X out for them, for all you know. I mean, honestly, like, we don't know. But I'm telling you how this shit worked, because I do know that the government and the music industry and all that shit, they all connected. And these people do be wanting deals to go to the next level. And so I don't even know if this situation can even be trusted in terms of even what the state say. I mean, because we know that the government will turn a blind eye to fuckery if you turn coat on someone else. They will do that. And so for me, and I just want more information about this case and situation. If I'm speaking too early, forgive me, because I ain't trying to offend nobody's family. These are two people that lost their life, so I'm not trying to offend nobody's family, and so I apologize to the families. But this situation just seems weird to me, because I know a lot more about the shadow side of the government and shadow side of things than the average human will ever admit or know. Even if they do know, they scared to talk about it. And so when I hear a situation where somebody can just off someone, be out of self defense, and if and honestly, when women, if you touch a woman, and she can't fight back, or you are threatening or to a woman, into the point where gotta she gotta fight and take your life, then honestly, I do think that's justified. I do. For any woman to defend themselves, any human to defend themselves, if they are in a life and death situation and someone's trying to take you out, you got to take them out. It's as simple as that. When it comes to this situation, though, and knowing what I know about the music industry, and this whole protected custody shit and her getting off, but then the antics afterwards. That's what make me think like, why was nobody telling her you don't go and do that? You don't go and do no disrespectful ass shit like that. That's so disrespectful to sit there and do that. Hold on, let me mute this real quick. Okay. So um yeah, sorry about that. But yes, this situation is off as a motherfucker to me because like I said, she used that energy. And again, I'm telling you, these people in this industry, the music industry, and the way they view death and all this shit and riding off of other people's energy for clout and all that stuff, that was somebody's spirit, you know. And so I think it's not that I think that that's where the energy deficit was created. That was where the energy deficit was created. And then, like I said, these people, this protective custody shit, that really got my eye open. Like this sound like somebody that was an informant or something like that. And she left and went to the meet and greet, and that's where they had got her. They had lit her up. But my thing is, she pissed off that family. And like I said, if a woman is in any sort of dangerous situation and she got to take someone out for her survival, because they trying to get at her, I understand that. I understand that. But you don't go then and create unnecessary havoc by bragging about what you did and making it a gimmick for some to sell some music in the wicked ass music industry. That's where I'm kind of like, what? Like even this album cover right here, Ex Wood Pack, Tan the God. Like that lets you know. And if that was her way of healing, that's, I mean, you could have did that in private. You don't publish that, like, even if you're so upset still at what happened and you feel, justified in what you did, you don't, I'm telling you, like something about the energy of this being out in the public like that, that's wrong. I don't know. And again, she didn't deserve to die because of this. But look at the pain on both sides that is caused now. Her family in pain, his family in pain. And we don't know if there was either hood stuff behind the scenes in terms of like if this was something that was more in the underground economy. Like it makes me wonder, like, could this be a situation where it's you know, how do I say this? Like it could be deeper where she may know things. She was already in protective custody. She may know things about his dealing, his whereabout, or certain information about the, whatever hood stuff they in. And that can also be another reason why they had took her out, because they feel she knows that she knows too much. But this thing right where you just out here got the ex wood pack, and this is obnoxious. And so for ladies, I would say when you have justified your actions by correcting a wrong, you don't want to overextend that energy and create a deficit to where a family members that of the victim can then go and petition on the spiritual side or whatever they got to do to get at you and be successful at it, because she could have been shot and survived, right? Or she could have been shot at and missed, or she could have just forego a damn meet and greet, or demand whatever little protective custody stuff she in is to up the ante with the damn was it security. She didn't do all that, and she got smoked. And two people are now unfortunately dead over some dysfunctional ass gender war shit, and also disrespect. Like she said, I gotta be this extra fucking childish and making families mad. You don't make the family mad. What's the point of making a family mad? Was the families the one beating your ass too, or were they trying to justify what happened to you? We won't know everything that happened, but she shot him in self-defense in 2020. She was released. She was placed in protective custody, which she left to attend the meet and greet. My thing is, I feel like this begs to answer a lot of questions, because if the government had her in protective custody, they must have saw her as collateral damage too, and didn't give a fuck to not even warn her to say, don't go to that meet and greet. I'm trying to see if I see anything recent, if something like a couple hours ago. Like, let me see your comment, because I know there was somebody that was trying to left a comment here. Let's see. Also thought somebody was in her ear in the background telling her to do that nonsense. Put these people are dark entities to begin with. Exactly, James Williams. It's very possible. If somebody could have been telling her to do that, and again, these people are in the industry, and so anything goes. This the way they work in terms of getting somebody up to a higher level. They do work with imitation Kabbalists, and they do work with contracts and pacts and deals. And so, what I think, as far as a part of her deal, it could have been to smoke him or to become an informant under protective custody, but apparently they did the gematria and the shit wasn't even worth it, and they sacrificed her ass, because the government could have totally stepped in and said, you know what, you're not doing no meet and greet if they saw her that valuable. And trust me, they know who's what in terms of the productivity, the energy marker, the gematria, the genealogy, the bloodline, whatever it is, they already know, they have it. And so somebody didn't even feel like they didn't even want her. If she was in protective custody, what was you doing to go and do a meet and greet with? And why were you in protective custody for self-defense? Is it because you were antagonizing that family, or is there information that we don't know as the public? That makes me think it might have been something deeper. And like I said, this government shit, like these people that be getting protective custody and stuff, these be informants. And I'm not saying she was an informant, but I'm telling you, like, something not right about this situation. She was an up and coming star with more than 20,000 followers on Instagram. Tributes are being left outside the beauty store. So the motivation for the killing is unknown, and police are still hunting for the perpetrator. A number of nearby workers were confused by what was going on, according to San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah, to be honest, this looked like some shit that they done all concocted. Now, as far as that family being on it, this family, I ain't getting all into their business like that. But she said the family was mad. Oh well, because they ain't gonna do shit about it. Because they ain't gonna. That's so crazy to say something like that. You took someone's life. Now he's doing domestic violence abuse. I understand that, honey. That was justified. However, it's the after effect that creates the energy deficit. The energy was balanced because you took him out. The energy was balanced, most likely. Now, whatever these gematria imitation Kabbalists was going to do to get you up to the next level while you in protective custody, to get you to become this music industry star, as a celebrity, Lord have mercy, these people are sucker tuckers, boy, ain't they? Um, Come on, lost soul. But anyways, whatever they were going to do, they were going to do their part, but something didn't go right. Something got created that wasn't even worth protecting this woman anymore. But also, uh, where the family started to seek retribution and take justice into their own hands because of the damn the damn taunting and mockery that she was doing of this part of this man's death. That's still his family. Like people who have sisters, mothers, fathers, cousins, people that love them. And as far as this dysfunctional shit that Joe and him had, he beat his ass. They should have checked him for beating his ass. Maybe it would have kept him alive. But at the same time, I'm telling you that energy deficit got created where it had to balance out again because she kept talking about the ex Wood pack and had his tombstone up during the interviews to sell a EP for that demonic ass music industry. And them entities started chowing on her ass as they needed some more blood. And they didn't even think this energy was even worth it to even protect it. I'm telling you, she was in protective custody and she was left like that for a meet and greet. If the government wanted to protect her as far as assets, oh, she would have been protected. There would have been no way they would have touched her. So they have been monitored. And I'm telling you, with these type of situations, and when you're in protective custody, they got somebody monitored in terms of the phone calls. They got his family monitored. You think she ain't tell him, oh, I'm scared his family going to da 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 da. They had that family monitored, and they know exactly what happened if they are involved in it or if they're not, or if it's some other street shit that is not even none of our business, right? Because we squares, we don't do street, okay? We do knock the university, we do education, we do esoteric studies, we do Black American research and cultural policy. Like we are like Bugetto Negroes over here. We don't do those type of things, okay? We just want to be law abiding citizens, okay, and get our bread and butter through our gifts and merit. But nonetheless, whatever, however people get it, they get it. People get forced into the underground economy every day because of the injustice and unfairness. There are certain things I personally wouldn't do. I have been, I'm still dealing with targeted individual shit. You should have saw what just happened just today. But they literally illegally closed my bank account after having on multiple phone calls, multiple emails, multiple things of them saying they weren't going to close it. They literally just woke up and said, we're closing your account. And I have all of the phone calls recorded, all of the emails recorded, proving that what they did was totally illegal. They know what they did was illegal. I have phone calls recorded, me and that, making sure that, and so I kept a whole case file for the whole year of everything they've been doing. So I know what it's like to be a targeted individual, for have to be put in a situation where a government turns on you, or they push you into where they keep you unemployed, keep you without money and all that stuff. So I'm not judging anybody that has to go into the underground economy, especially women, women that maybe should doing OnlyFans or whatever. I'll never judge anybody for that. I do judge certain forms of the underground economy activity in terms of the glamorization for it. I don't think it should be glamorized at all. I don't think it should be something that is known as our culture at all. I don't think it should be glamorized. I don't think we should justify the selling of drugs in our community. I don't. Mm-mm. And I have been pushed way to the bottom on illegal levels you would never seen as a targeted individual, and you won't see me go near certain activity, regardless of what it is. And I'm telling you, I've been pushed to the brink. What targeted individuals, they make sure that you don't keep no money, and that you damn near one step from homeless and broke and all types of shit. And so I know that my integrity won't push me to do things that I know is going to create energy deficits down the line, or even intergenerationally, in terms of like selling drugs to the community, or human trafficking someone or something like that. I don't get that. That's just not my thing, and those are no goals for me. That's just me, you know. So while I understand people get it where they get it, you know, when we think about survival and things of survival and what we would do for survival, uh, for me personally, I have I have my limits, and shit, I'm like a bodhisattva. I go sit out in that motherfucking tree and charge my energy, and I'm good. You know me. If shit hit the fan, I stand by this. If shit hit the fan, all you need is a damn tree, some water, and the sun. That's just me. But I'm not attached. I'm not a materialistic person. I'm not attached to the 3D things. I'm attached to things, but just not that. um, but nonetheless, this could be a situation where it's even deeper in terms of some stuff, in terms of what she may have known, and maybe she's involved in underground economy. where she may have made the block too hot, and they feel like she was somebody that needed to be silenced. However, when it comes to, again, this the situation with her being in protective custody, I'm telling you, it's a lot of answers. I want to see something about this case. As far as I want to study this case esoterically, in terms of what was going on between these two, which led to the situation in 2020 in terms of self defense, her being placed in protective custody, and her leaving 4 years later to go attend some damn meet and greet, and then getting smoked as soon as she does her first meet and greet, and as soon as she leaves protective custody. She left protective custody to attend a meet and greet and got smoked. That's very serious. So my thing is, was the government in on it? I might. It's something. I'm telling you, it's something esoterically off, energetically wise with this. I see a bunch of foolery. I do see a bunch of childish shit, childish thinking. But nonetheless, I don't think she deserved to die a violent death like that. Her, and even with the guy, you know, I want to look into this case. I really do. I really do, because I do know that the industry is a beast, and you have to believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Um, and anybody could come tell you a story of what someone did to justify murking them, and that could be a whole play. I don't even know about any of all of that, because from what I do know is that motherfuckers will take your ass out in that music industry to rise up another level, or they will make a deal with this government. And I do know that people do that shit. And so um I suspect that this lady, uh I suspect that the government was monitoring this whole situation, and we need more information, because they should have told her, like, you don't attend a meet and greet, after antagonizing that man. See, and I'll tell you this, I'll give you one better. You see how Takashi 6ix9ine is still walking around. You think that man, that he's under protective, he has protective custody, protection. He can walk around, ain't nobody gonna touch him. You think that man don't know that? He been around how many years he been out of prison? He been out and about, Takashi 6ix9ine. But you see how quick they did her like that? Literally, as soon as she left, the same day she left protective custody, is the same day she got smoked. But Takashi 6ix9ine walk around, and I'm not trying to put no target on nobody. That I'm just saying, with it's something fishy with the government behind this, because that government protects Takashi 6ix9ine. I mean, he got Lucian Grange. I mean, he got some heavy hitters to protect him. She don't got them heavy. She ain't had them heavy hitters apparently, and they felt, apparently, with the gematria, it wasn't worth it, and that she was better off passed away than alive. The gematria, I'm telling you, because if they wanted to keep her alive and in protective custody, they would have done it. Oh, trust me. Or they would have planned out a whole staged meet and greet. She wouldn't have been at no ghetto ass. I won't say ghetto, but some random ass beauty supply store or whatever. And if it's black owned and this is new, I appreciate and respect that. I apologize that I don't want to come at you, but I don't know if it was a black owned beauty supply store or a Korean beauty supply store. I'm not gonna hold you. They were saying it was her beauty supply store, and that would have been really cool, right? Like I'm thinking the way they reported this story was it was a black girl that opened up the first black beauty supply store in the Bay Area, and as soon as she opened the grand open in front of the store, they off her gunshots. Oh, jealousy. Oh, you niggas. Yeah, we ready. Like, us Bougetto Negroes, us elite Negroes. They're looking like, oh, there they go. Those gnarly. Here they, oh my gosh. They took it. We can't have nothing. And then we get the story that wasn't her salon. And then we get the backdrop of this ex and this situation with her talking about the ex packet and his tombstone, and she bragging about it, and she was killed him in self-defense in 2020, that she was in protective custody, and then it just be like, wait a minute, hold up, this is a lot of energy, this is too much, and so it does make me think, like I said, it makes me think there's more to this. It's more to this. This is industry shit. Two people gone now, collateral damage. And who eats off of the energy? The government. The government. The government. Yep, they eat off that energy. And she was in protective care too, and probably made a deal with him, signed the stupid shit she didn't even read. And they probably been playing, they already know this. They probably put that idea in her head. Yeah, go up there and say R.I.P. Here's my. They might have put that. You see the blonde wig on her head. Um, I mean, she up on it. What whose interview is this? Who interviewer is this? I don't know who interviewed, but I think I seen this background before. This interview background looked familiar. Not that tombstone, but that bricks with the that all looked familiar to me. I forgot what channel that is, but yeah, that's a no. That's not gimmicky. That's not something you do a gimmicky. You know, if you do a gimmick, you know how people had a gimmicks. You know how Miley Cyrus had a gimmick, the twerking gimmick, and Megan Thee Stallion, the Megan the knees gimmick. You know, and she talks about the knees and when the knee dance. You know, everybody have a gimmick. You know, they got the Megan Thee Stallion got the Megan the knees. Nicki Minaj had the Barbies. Remember, she used to wear the Barbie. That was her gimmick. That was her prop. That was literally her prop. That Barbie, Harajuku Barbie, and Barbie necklace and shit like that. But your prop, this sister's prop, was her dead ex, bragging about killing her dead ex. That's ghetto, not in a sense because she's black, but that's just wretched. That's just wretched ass shit. And it would be the same way if it was him that did that. Actually, he would have got my thing is this community so ass backwards. I don't know how y'all would have reacted to that, but that would have been terrible if he would have been doing the same thing. But knowing y'all probably would still try to justify it because y'all male identified and cursed. But yeah, this right here was outrageous. You don't go and talk about no ex wood packing like this shit right here. No, sis. You got him. You got your lick back. It's time to let it go. And actually, to be honest, you should have sent the condolences to his family because his family ain't had nothing to do unless they was disrespecting you. Now, I want to know, was the family taunting her or hurting her or doing things to her as well, or was it just him? Because why did she think it was okay to just make the family mad, or was that was part of the trauma in terms of her needing that healing and not giving a fuck because she's in pain? Hurt people, hurt people, hurt people, hurt people. And so perhaps, that's, talking as far as talking about those healing mechanisms for women that's dealing with domestic violence or a psychotic nigga that's abusing them emotionally and physically. And a lot of us women, we have experience with narcissistic abuse and narcissistic people. And so we know what it's like to experience people that will utterly gaslight you and people who utterly don't give a fuck about you but want your energy and want you to be down. And so when we get justice in terms of getting the lick back, whether that be leaving them, whether that be taking them out, whether that be getting them to go to jail because they finally got justice. How do that after that has happened, after you get justice or you make justice or create justice, you still gotta heal. And so apparently, as far as her healing, she she wasn't she was not healed from this situation, or not, I won't say healed, but not mature enough. That's more of it's not even a matter of whether she was healed or not. Whether she was healed or not, that doesn't even matter. It's more so like she wasn't mature enough um to understand the situation. And there's things where I'm not mature enough. I've handled things recklessly. So I understand what it means to just be emotional in as women, and to feel you want your vindication, you want justice, you want um you want the truth to come out. You want things that have been done that somebody can gaslight you on, have plausible deniability and all. You want justice and you want to see, it's not even you want to see revenge, like you legitimately want justice. For some women that have been it's like you don't even want no money, you just want people to know the truth, especially for women that are intuitive, and I know how that is. But the energy deficit that we create afterwards is important as far as the fallout of the justice or lack thereof. If there is a lack of justice, then you know that's definitely going to create um more of an energy deficit on the other person's side, not so much the female side. But when there is justice, in which she got off from killing him and was in protective custody, at that point you just want to focus on the music, on the up and up. And I think like those whoever was in the music industry, whoever, as again, the music industry is tied to the government. Y'all don't want to believe that. I'm talking about deep state government, not regular government, like deep state intelligence agency type shit. Celebrity, like the entertainment industry is connected to intelligence, government intelligence. Y'all should know that. And so whoever again was having this case, so that she probably signed one of them stupid ass music contracts. Who God knows who she was signed to. But as far as them doing that gematria and realizing and looking at this shit, this wasn't worth. They didn't feel like this was worth putting no money behind or putting no protection behind, because they let her get smoked as soon as she left protective custody to go do a meet and greet to go chase fame and fortune. She going to chase fame and fortune, do a meet and greet, and wanted to create her fame and fortune off of this narrative and write it off of the energy off of the death of someone, the death of an ex. And that's not cool. I have to say, street shit or no street shit. We just talking about energy wise. There's an energy deficit that was created because you're making the family pissed off. Obviously, anybody that will see that all out ex wood pack and all this stuff, that will make someone very upset. And then for her to admit I'm being extra fucking childish and I'm making them mad, oh well, because they ain't gonna do shit about it. That's where the energy deficit was created. That right there. That's where they snooped right in the energy of the get back energy. Snips right back in and want to take her energy out. And apparently, with whatever protective custodies, music industry that she signed to, them imitation Kabbalists, they did the numbers and they said, we can't even really do anything with this. We got a life insurance policy that she signed, and she signed to us or whatever. Okay, yeah, let's just get it out the way. And that's what happens. Um, or could be get back from the literal family, somebody but I don't want to put that on that family, and I don't have any information about that, and I'm not about to do no tarot reading or nothing like that to get no information on this situation, because I don't give a fuck, to be honest. Not that much, to be digging deep into that. I give a fuck about the ramifications of, in terms of like women and how we handle our pain and our justice, and the fallout from lack of justice, and how do we deal with that trauma. I'm willing to talk about that, because you know men do you dirty all the time. Men will do you fucking dirty, and a lot of times we have to either take them out, put justice in our own hands, or just get away. And sometimes they make it so hard to get away. They make it incredibly hard to get away, especially if the more powerful they are, the harder it is to get away from them. The easier it is to gaslight you. If they have any sort of connections, don't let them be in no motherfucking secret society where they powerful up there, or they got some influence some type where, and you trying to get away. Oh, they have networks. They have regional information sharing apps where they can track your motherfucking ass everywhere you go. They'll pay people. They got bank. They'll pay a motherfucker. It's called contract for hire, revenge for hire, contract kill for hire. All this, people have literally done this to me, so I'm speaking from experience. I know what this stuff looks like in terms of somebody that's got a contract for hire, revenge for hire on your ass. Um, where that's kind of like where they get into like the gang stalking, or someone that they got your regional information sharing app, and they with these secret societies, and they just track your motherfucking ass. And you think you go into a hotel, they don't give you a hotel because it's already, wherever you go, they already have the powerful person already has an awareness of where you're at. And so for females that will leave a narcissistic a situation, um, they'll deal with that. And if it's a powerful person, honestly, this is what oh man, I don't want to get into that girl situation because that's too deep. But honestly, this is a lot of powerful women, a lot of powerful men. They'll do that to their females. to the women that they're with when they want to leave them. You know, honestly, look at the situation with Cassie and P Diddy. To be honest, he has that power, and he has various power apparatuses to where he can enact a whole network of revenge for hire or contract organized harassment, organized mobbing, on some gang type shit, which is secret society type shit, um, where you she couldn't leave. I know what I'm telling you. Like you this person tries to go to a hotel. Like say Cassie tried to leave, and say she would have tried to go to anywhere else. Actually, somebody is suing P Diddy for tor- uh, torturous interference. Torturous interference, which is blacklisted in gang stalking. That's blacklisted in organized mobbing, organized torture, organized harassment. Pretty much, it's organized harassment and blacklisting. Like, and there's people that is in that when them P Diddy lawsuits, they're talking about how like they would be blacklisted, or they would try to, everywhere they go they couldn't escape because people would lock them out. People will take payment, especially if someone that is a part of government or that is in powerful positions in the secret society or something. They can pay motherfuckers off. They got long money. They'll pay. They'll pay for somebody to torture your motherfucking ass. No touch psychological torture, mind you, where it's plausible deniability that can't be traced back to the person. You will not be able to prove it. So, say somebody work at a bank, you try to go to the bank. The powerful person that has connections to the government, that has connections to industry and whoever else is connected to it or secret site, they can make the phone call and say you got to close that person's bank account or you got to freeze that person's bank account. So then they can't get access to their money. This is what's happening to women, by the way, that have powerful husbands or powerful that get connected to powerful men, or they piss off really powerful people. Uh, or they said, let's say they tried. So that's one situation. Or then so they can't get access to their bank account. Then they try to go into to go get a hotel room. Every hotel they check in, they already have it where they call them in advance, and they'll pay these managers. They're well connected like that. Well, I mean, obviously, it will be something where it can't. It's very clandestine. It could be in a form of a gift card. It could be in a form of Amazon wish list. Something shit like it's real. It could be something real small. On the high levels, it could be literal payment. But a lot of times they get patsies to do all that low level shit in terms of revenge for hire type of things. But a lot of women go through revenge for hire. Women that are married to doctors, women that are married to high executives of any of that nature, and you try to leave and say they connected, they can make your life a living hell, and they will gang stalk you. They will organize a team, a network of organized harassment, mobbing. They have access to the police. Oh, good luck. And I'm telling you, I know that this stuff is happening. And so, you know, on a broader note for women, um, we have to take measures to protect ourselves and be honest and truthful. But even in the way we go about getting our justice, because a lot of and again, when you know that something has been done, and you know it's a person that's in a secret society that has plausible deniability, that makes it even 10 times harder because you won't have the concrete proof to prove that you know that person is behind it, and and I'm telling you that this is shit that has happened to so many women. That doesn't necessarily reply to this particular case as far as this baby girl. What's her name? Tan the God. Lord have mercy. But in terms of what it means overall for women and how we deal with our justice, um, you know, and even the lack thereof, because she was able to get off. He beat her ass, and she he I turned on her, and she beat his. She took him out. She wasn't gonna let him hit her, and the aftermath and the lack of handling that maturely is what did her in. I think she could have survived had she not used that situation to try to generate clout for music and fame and fortune, as far as riding off of that man's energy and making it a mockery and laughing about it and giggling and taunting that family. Now, if they were into some other street shit, we won't know about all of that, of course. We won't. I can't speak to that. But as far as just the logistics, just objectively, yeah, it doesn't look good to do that. I wouldn't. I say she made the situation kind of pissed off because then you got people that my thing is, if say her ex was in a gang, or say her ex was, he got his homies, he got his people that love him. They gonna want to ride out for him. Now, two wrongs don't make a right or whatever, and it can't bring him back. So what's the point of getting at her? But they feel like she's disrespectful. Or again, the industry could be making it seem like it's his family behind it. Knowing them, they could try to want to make it seem like it is his family behind it, but is it really them behind it? And they just wanting the damn sacrifice. I mean, seriously, give you something as fucking simple as that for them wanting to cash in on the insurance policy that they had these dodo bird industry people sign. These hungry, thirsty people that want to get in the industry. They had them sign that damn shit, and they had some type of death clause in it where they gonna get the insurance policy off of it, and you signed your life away, didn't know it. And then they said they had a whole place set up for you. Okay, yeah, you protective custody. Yeah, we got you. Yeah, you about to make it big. You about to be a star in the music industry. Here's a meet and greet, and they offed her ass for it. Could be them behind it for all you know. Seriously, I'm telling you, believe half of what you hear and none of what you see, and believe none of what you see and half of what you motherfucking hear, because that industry is a wicked ass industry to get involved in. All of that shit, that informant shit, that protective custody, anything with the government, that's some wicked ass shit. And I'm talking about government on that type of level. I'm not talking about somebody, trying to run for politics or something like that. That come on now, let's be real. I'm not talking about somebody just, you happen to be a government worker, right? We're talking about somebody that gets involved in terms of taking deals to get off, or to be an informant, or to be in protective custody. All that. That's where it gets real low level. That's where they gonna treat you. That's where they treat you like. I mean, I don't know from, I'm just saying, like, I remember reading that situation. I read, what was that baby girl's book, where she was kind of talking about it, how they wanted, like, that's how I learned about it from Angela Staton. She has a book where she was talking about how grimy the government is, in terms of how, like, they won't really care, like, about the crime or whatnot, that you did, as long as you turn in somebody else. And she ain't saying she did that. She was telling us in that book, because I remember reading that book, and Angela Staton was telling us, like, they play dirty. They play very, very dirty when it comes to that. And that story always stuck with me in my soul. Like, I was like, oh wow, like, that's how they get down. And she's not the only person I've heard that will tell situations like that. We hear people, tell their story. Like, we grew up hearing stuff about Freeway Ricky's case, and all these different cases of people where, when they got you, when they feel that they got you, that and they got something over your head, that's the worst position to be in, is what I'm saying. And that's just common sense. I don't even need to experience that, and I don't want to experience that, and I don't wish that on anybody. But when they got something where they can hold over your head, and it's do this or that, that's a fucked up situation to be in. And that's when I'm saying, when our government start doing it, that's when you are in the belly of the beast. That's when you are dealing with Satan, and that is when you most likely going you thinking you about to make a deal, and that deal will ultimately backfire on your ass. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that. That's the fucked up. That's the fucked up aspects of it. The long and short of it. So she, chasing that fame and fortune, she was chasing that, and she thought she, was gonna ride up off of that man's death, and brag and have a whole EP about smoking his pack or whatever, all this shit. I don't even know what this pack shit is. But doing that, and you pissed off some family members, or you got played by whatever deal you got in. And they already see a lot of these people as cannon fucking fodder. They getting desperate, so they want anybody that's desperate. That's why you're seeing very non-talented people blow up in the industry all of a sudden. They starving. They ain't got shit. They don't know where to go. They don't know where to move. They don't have any creative ideas. They don't have any actual real talent. And we heard they said they're not looking for real talent because then the real talent thinks that they can demand things. They just want people that are so desperate for fame and fortune that they will do anything, and so that they can control them better. MK Ultra they ask better. That's pretty much all it is. Um, and so they gonna be getting goofy ass motherfuckers like that. I ain't gonna say that RP to the sister, but they gonna be getting people that just do goofy shit. In terms of like this type of stuff. RIP, they gonna be getting goofy people that do stuff like this, like the situation with Fulio in the graveyard and all this stuff, and it's always some goofy ass shit around these people. It's always some crazy stuff that don't add up, or it's something where their talent is even questionable, and then they just blowing up with all these followers and stuff. I'm telling you, that's these imitation Kabbalists desperate trying to keep a system going, and for money and whatever energies that they need to feed their beast. And they've been using melanated people for that for a minute. Melanated people are so fucking ignorant that they don't even realize they are character players. Not all of us, not all of them, trust me. But the source character players, and they come in directly to you. But now they can't really go to source character players. They still go into they go into melanated NPCs because they need they that desperate, so they looking for anybody that's stupid enough to fall for the game, meaning very untalented people that don't even have gifts. They can't even take the people with the gifts because the people with the gifts are protected in this last day and age. So like say there's people with actual real motherfucking gifts. um, a lot of stuff is being stopped from allowing them to get into that industry. I'm speaking from my own experience. Like, yo, as you thinking you getting surrounded by people and you thinking people like you, people your friend, or they want to see good for you. They don't want to see good for you. Motherfuckers will see you as competition and will set your ass up to be murked or to be a sacrifice. The people around you is it's always the people closest to you. And you thinking that people actually like you and appreciate the work that you do and the talents that you have, and no, that's the farthest thing from the truth. These motherfuckers want to see you in some sort of weird ass Elvis Presley contract, a slave to their system, and fucked up in the game like they fucked up in the game. That's pretty much all it is, and they get a reward to bring you a new soul in. That's the long and short of it. It's very esoteric. You don't have to believe it. Nobody cares if you don't believe it. But when this shit happened, I'm talking from experience, what almost happened to my motherfucking ass. And I'm telling you, if you're really talented and really gifted and got a source energy inside of you, the bloodline epigenetic code of Jah on your motherfucking spine, your ass will be blocked from going into that industry in 2024. It's been ramped up since 2021. So if you've been having a hard time and you're really talented, but you got a bunch, you better watch out. When you got a bunch of Mason motherfuckers around, you better dodge these motherfuckers and watch your family too. But yeah, if you think you about to just go into this damn beast of a hell system, music industry, not until we done tearing this shit the fuck down and renewing it. Not right now. You're not going in there. I mean, you can work independently. You get your own clout, whatever you do. You do things the hard way, or you're going to take the shortcut. But as far as like talent, real talented, gifted people with gifts from God, with energy markers on their motherfucking spine, you're not going to be allowed to go into that industry at this time to go make no damn deals and sign no motherfucking contracts. You're going to be blocked from it. I'm just telling you from experience. I'm telling you, I was blocked from it multiple times, and these motherfuckers will keep coming to your motherfucking ass. They'll keep trying to, you know what I mean? And so you have to wise up and see it for what it is. And if you don't, then because you're thinking it's something that it's really not. I mean, sometimes like what I've been able to see has been a blessing and a curse, because sometimes I feel like forbidden knowledge, I didn't seek out forbidden knowledge. I didn't ask for it. I wasn't going all around trying to get the quest, whatever. But in a lot of ways, I am thankful for the spiritual insight of being able to see the system for what it is. But at other times, sometimes I miss my naivete because I was so fucking naive um, about everybody around me and about everything in the world. So naive about the world, and there was a great innocence and also a great carefreeness that came with that in terms of my interactions with people and my trust levels and my even just my love. Um, I'm not talking about going around just loving random people. I'm just talking about the broadness of love in terms of just oozing out source energy as someone with a soul, right? So people with souls, you that's a part of the ingredient of the soul is this um, love energy. For those of us that understand it, it transcends any particular ism or label or religion. But for those of us, I sometimes I miss that veil of protection over my eyes. I couldn't see the world for shit. I couldn't see it, and I'll never forget. My dad, I was in Buffalo, and I would never forget. I think I was about to get some dinosaur barbecue. I was ordering dinosaur barbecue, and I used to go to DoorDash. I used to get us some drinks. And I know you remember this, because it wasn't that damn long ago. I'm talking about some drinks, like I used to get me was it whiskey? Is gonna be some whiskey or some motherfucking wine. And I'll never forget. I'm waiting on my dinosaur food. We having some drinks, and I'll never forget. He said, you need to work on your spiritual. You need to get more spiritual. And for me at that time, I already knew I was spiritual, but again, my frequency was shielded. And I know that God shielded me from seeing this world for what it was. I know for a fact that that was God not wanting me to see it. I wouldn't have been able to handle it at the time. I could barely handle it in July of 2023 or even in August of 2022 of what I saw in the spiritual realm. I could barely handle it. So I know that I was shielded purposely this whole time. And I'm not the only one. So many targeted individuals, so many individuals with that's dealing with what I deal with. We all go through that process of where we can't see the forest for the trees. We just naive, loosey goosey. The world is roses and flowers and sunshines and daisies. And that's literally what the world is. Everybody's your friend, and we trust one another. And I would never forget. He said, "You need to work on your spiritual." And the look on his face, like, "Damn, you don't see shit." And I remember looking at him like, "I'm spiritual," and at that time, I'm thinking in my head, "I'm spiritual. I love God. I pray every day. I do my spiritual rituals every day. Everything about me is everything. I spend more time." All in a days, in quantum entanglement than even in the 3D. So I couldn't understand what he was saying. But he was saying like, see the world, look around you, wake up. And I just couldn't see. And I know that God had to slowly let that veil, had to show it to me and see it. And I had to see it. And I saw that shit. I actually could see what he said now. I couldn't see it then. When he was talking, I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is you? I am spiritual. I remember said, I am spiritual. But also another thing that he underestimated in terms of is terms of the cloak that God would put over true children of God. Like God will put, like, you won't see shit in front of you. Your ass would just be do love and light, love and peace and joy, divine feminine, queen mothership. Like that's I'm gonna write and help my Black Americans. Help Black Americans. Reparations. Like that's literally what I'm telling you. If you was to look at my brain was thinking about Dr. University, queen mothership, and divine feminine, and helping Black Americans. This literally was in my. You would open up my mind and say, "What the fuck is in here?" Queen mothership, divine feminine, Kali Ma, and angels and ZZ plants and sea salt lamps and love. So I couldn't see the world for what it was, man. And I would never forget. I could tell he was just looking at me like, this motherfucker is naive as fuck. And that was in 2022. And I couldn't understand. I was offended. Why would you say that to me? I'm a priestess. I'm spiritual. And I am, at the time, though, that veil was still up. That veil was completely up. And that's, or people could say a veil or a spell. The spell was still working, but a part of it was now that I see what God was doing and how God moves in mysterious ways, it was definitely a veil, because that had to be revealed to me slowly, piece by piece. So in July of 2023, when I saw this world for what it was, whew, and that program that they got, and how this government really worked. Oh my God. And I'm like, most people would have snapped at the stuff I saw and the things that I know. It's incredibly hard to know that, especially the blowback that I faced from even speaking out on some things. But nonetheless, here we are. But that was then you go from a state of so naive to hypervigilance. And now I'm balancing all that out because I do see where God is slowly lifting up the veil again, and that's just for my own protection, my own sanity, my own uh, so I can be less distracted and get focused back on the things that I care about, the things that I do want to focus on, you know. Um, but I have to say that yeah, that was mind blowing to see, what this government is all about and what the world is all about and the music industry is all about. And for those that think it's just oh, you're going to get somewhere on your merit. It's incredibly frustrating though, because we know we're more talented than these people. We're definitely more smarter. We're definitely more gifted than most people that do get these deals. um, and so we get locked out because we have certain genetic markers that makes the system turn against us, but also ravenously jealous of us. And also ravenously there's admiration at some levels too, infatuation, but also desire for entitlement, narcissistic. We're beacons for narcissistic abuse if we don't protect ourselves. But I do want to say, if you're thinking you're going to go into this industry at this time in 2024, the way that it is, and go in there and you actually got some real gifts and talent. And for people that don't got real gifts and talent, but maybe you just, you just you feel like you're a victim of poverty or a victim of lack of opportunity, and this is your big break. I don't know what that. I can't even give advice to, as I don't even have the experience to know what that feels like in terms of just jumping into a situation because and knowing I don't have the talent, like a sexy red situation. I can't even. What would you say? You can't say anything to a person that doesn't value what you value. If you have different value systems, there's nothing you can say that would make what you say logical to them because you have different value systems, right? So you don't waste, you don't throw your pearls to swine. And I'm not calling sexy red swine, or I'm not calling any of these people that get involved in that shit swine. But I'm just saying, like, if they don't have, they don't, I don't have the same value system they have. What can they say to me that would be logical? They can say the same thing in reverse to me. But yeah, we don't have the same value system, because I value a system based on merit, and I value a system based on truth, and uh, you get there through your merits and your hard work and your talents and your gifts, and maybe not even hard work, because I believe in working smarter, not harder, but you get there through your talents, and that's just not the world that we live in. And it is incredibly sad. It is incredibly sad to know that, and I feel for people that don't know that, because that was something I didn't know, and I ain't gonna hold you. I couldn't understand for the life of me why nobody was supporting my businesses, no, nobody was supporting me, nobody was. And now I find out because I'm some damn targeted individual where they got some damn people on the list where they just completely blacklist you, and it's been like that for me for years, and I just didn't understand what the hell was going on, and I didn't know, and I was blocked from understanding it. And people knew, everybody around me knew. They just lied and just kept up errors. People knew what was going on. So now that I know, it's all been revealed to me about like what's been going on, and even who's behind it. Um, and I don't understand everything, and I don't even want to waste my time trying to get to the bottom of who put me on this list and who did it and who's around, who's, because everybody around you is most likely. I'm telling you, people. If you this is happening to you, the people around you are most likely in it. It's the people closest to you that's most likely in it, or you are stepping on somebody's toes. You're too talented, too intelligent, and you've looked at it as a threat to the government, and they got somebody on you watching you. That's just what they do. And so I didn't know any of these things, and so I found out, and you know it's incredibly annoying to see people just this whole situation with this lady, man. And this is the way of the world because, like, again, Tan the guy, she's probably just as naive as I was. Don't know shit. She's 27. I didn't find out shit till 31. And so at 27, I was still I was always intelligent. I was intelligent at 27, but still fucking naive. And still lacking discernment in terms of people and situations, in terms of situational danger. So that means like people around you, they don't mean you any fucking good, but you don't know because they smile in your face. You know, now I can see that. I can literally see spirits on these motherfuckers. I could see a shift in their eye. I could see the energy on them now. At 31, I've developed that extra gift. God was able to let me have that gift where I can see that now on a person. And then it's also a scrutiny. It's I'm telling you the discernment, man. That like I've caught people in the act, and I do have evidence of certain interactions with certain individuals and people where the way they react is not logical, it's not coherent, and it's not normal. And so that lets me know that they're hiding something, or that they are a plant, or that they are a part of this targeted harassment campaign, or that they are a gang stalker. You'll be able to tell by the way they react. And so now I got the evidence of these things where it's just not normal reaction. And because what happens anytime a boundary is asserted, a person's true color shows. Anytime you assert a boundary, a person's true color shows. Anytime somebody can't control you, they true motherfucking color show. And that's how you'll know. Sometimes they can't keep, they show their teeth. They can't keep the jealousy under wraps. They can't keep their emotions under wraps because they already know that you're better than them. Anybody that's trying to take you down, they already beneath you. And so when someone they'll break character, and I'll keep running into that where they just break character. And it's not like, and I'm telling you, I have the evidence, so it's not like someone can say, "Oh, you started that with them," or "You interpreted that wrong." Like it's literally just simple. It could be simple email exchanges, simple text message exchange, simple message exchange, and you'll see the break in character, or you'll see the jump bad, or you'll see where it'll go wrong. And I can break this down as evidence where you could be like, something is not right with that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And then I kind of like, okay, that's my cue to realize that they are the motherfucking people. And I just got to stay away from that. Now, sometimes I have noticed though, because some people, they were smiling so else, they just so smiling in your face, man. You just think they love you. And I could see it in their eyes. I could see the shift. And then the actions follow. I don't say anything, but then I'll also be able to gather evidence. I'll play that kind, and they always like clockwork. They break character, kind, and I have that. I'm telling you, one day I'll show you what this stuff looks like. I'll show you how to expose a gang stalker and all that types of shit. Because these are people that are very unevolved spiritually and broken souls, and I know I'm supposed to have compassion for them, but I don't because I'm annoyed at how they treat people and targeted individuals. Um, um, and so, but they always break character because they're not intelligent to begin with. The government can't turn a person like me into no the goddamn gang stalker or informant or shit like that. They go for people that they know is fucking stupid. I ain't even gonna hold you. They go for people that they know is morally bankrupt and corrupt, and they go for them tight. They can't control their emotions. They break space, and then they send them after a primordial fucking energy. They send these motherfuckers on a dummy mission, fucking with some of us chosen ones. And and I may sound like low vibe or whatever. Y'all may not like me talking like this, but that's what it is. They sent these motherfuckers on fucking dummy missions, fucking with me. Um, Ridiculous. But that's my piece. That's my piece. And when I see this story and I get a little, you know, uh triggered, not so much triggered. Oh, I hate that word. But I get a little annoyed because, there's something not right in my spirit with this story in terms of this protective custody shit and why they let her go out to that meet and greet, who's really behind it, what this family situation, because I understand the family feeling like they want justice and they want to get their lick back because she kept taunting them. Let's look at the comments, what they say. Wow, it seems like a revenge kill. Maybe someone in her ex-boyfriend family. She was. Let's see if we can get the newest ones. Let's look at new, because maybe sometimes these comments people be knowing more than what the what I mean. People be knowing. Okay, so it says she made a choice to leave protective service for this public venue, and the consequences was her death. Oakland is the new Compton. Condolences to the family and the friends and the fan and the community. God rest her soul. Okay. Being a rapper is a dangerous occupation. Yes, it is. Being in the music industry at this time, where they want you see how I ain't even gonna get into that, but they want they got this life insurance shit. Man, y'all be fucking careful because they are desperate. Because they on their last leg, as quiet as it's kept. As long as they ain't telling you that, because they don't want you to know. They want you to think you about to get fame and fortune. That's why all them fucking rappers keep dying. Look what she says. Somebody says, what did she think was going to happen? If you killed my loved one in self-defense, I could live with that. See, that's right. That's what I said too. Yeah, I could live with that. You got your lick back, you got your justice, but you go to the grave and make fun, then ask what we're going to do about it. You must have a death wish. That's what I'm saying. She created the energy deficit when she decided to keep taunting that family and taunting what she did and using that man's death to write off of his energy. Somebody's not going to like that. Without victim blaming, on paper, it sounds like she brought it on herself. I imagine her ex's family did not appreciate her attitude, and that's the energy deficit. And so there's humans that at least understand that. Her history caught up with her. It's all over the internet. Oh wow. What gets me is that she was targeted, but the killer had absolutely no concern for who else might get killed along with her. Little kids were being okay. I don't know about all that. She left protective custody after shooting her deceased ex, and then makes a diss track. Terrible. See that diss track and all that shit? Like that's ridiculous. That's not what you do. Hurt people, but at the same time, get your shit and relax and chill. Don't taunt though. Don't taunt. But yeah, yeah. They ignored the urban. They're sickening avoid that city for years, and it's now beyond dangerous. Thanks, Democrats. Okay, so you got people doing that. They should reclassify rapping as hazardous to your health. Seems like they're all being shot. Damn, I was hoping to see if somebody has some information, because sometimes in them comment sections, people will give you some tea, and they'll have because they don't get access to maybe mainstream media, but they'll know some inside information. And so I was wondering if somebody knew more things. But yeah, this whole situation is just unfortunate. It really is. It's unfortunate. It's stupid. It's childish. By her own admission, her actions was childish to taunt that family. And two lives are gone. I don't know if these are NPCs, but nonetheless, somebody is eating off of this, and you better believe it's the motherfuckers that signed her, and the people that had her in protective custody. They said, you know what, they weren't really gonna do nothing with. I don't know her music. She's a pretty girl though. That looks like. I don't know. Let's see. Is this where she had? Is this where the? Okay, so this must be where. Okay, so they had a meet and greet at the newly opened Oakland beauty store. This sound like a setup. They knowing this girl is in protected because I bet you this is a setup. It just seemed like a setup. And the way they was saying it, she was targeted, and she probably was. I mean, targeted individuals. I mean, these people are trying to justify the murders of innocent people every day. Now, this one, I'm not saying she was innocent, but I guess I get triggered because I do know how our community acts to women's deaths. And so I wanted to do her situation justice, but I also know that she's not innocent. And I know that she created a spiritual deficit by taunting that man, his family, and by making mixtapes of his death and all that shit. You just don't do that. And I'm also annoyed because I know I see the wicked ass music industry involved, and I see she was in protective custody. So I know she was probably that underbelly government, that deep state government shit. Like that shit is so wicked. And I'm just like, mm, mm, mm. Lord have mercy. Unfortunate situation. But I pray for the healing for both of these families. You know, both are gone now, so I hope y'all don't keep this going and it's just left alone, and the healing can take place for both of these family members on both sides, hers and his. You know, and that's this could be the end of it, and the healing can take place. That's the goal for both of the family members, because she got family too, just like how he got family, she got family, and they wanted to get back, and she got her get back. And you see what I mean? You can't just get with anybody. You just can't just be dating. That's why I don't do the psychotic dysfunctional ass relationships with people, and I just can't do that dysfunction ass shit, because that shit can get out of hand. And then you never want to make a woman's anger. Hell have no fury like a woman's scorn. And I know from what I'm looking at, this was women that called it, as far as her getting them pulling the plug. I mean, I'm pretty sure a man did it, but yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it was women behind this. That as far as his family that put this all together, I wouldn't be shocked at all. Um, yeah. But black women and black men, man, y'all in this gender war shit, and this fighting, and this putting their hands and fighting and beating each other's asses and shit like that. And she shoot him dead and all that. We already told y'all about putting your hands on one another. We already told y'all, if y'all can't use inside words and inside voices when talking to communicate and speak in a respectful manner to one another without hauling off and get to the bottom of things in an amicable way, using an inside voice, no cussing at each other, degrading one another, calling each other out each other's names. If y'all can't do that, y'all don't need to be fucking together. You need to be single, both of y'all, male and female, because y'all motherfuckers act like y'all can't have a decent ass conversation with one another without gaslighting the person, without being a fucking psychotic narcissist, without calling someone a bitch, a trick, um, stupid ass, and all this shit. Like, you can't talk to somebody um, because you hiding something, or what the fuck you gotta resort to all this goddamn name calling for when you trying to get down to the bottom of some shit. Or you holding somebody accountable for some bullshit that they did or they said, and they just haul off on your ass and start calling you all these goddamn names. If y'all can't talk to each other without calling some damn names and bitch and hoe and asshole and all this stuff and coward and all this stuff, then stop fucking interacting with one another. Leave it alone. Go on a no nigga diet, no bitch diet. Y'all get yourself right, develop your inner man and develop your inner woman, and that go for me too. Stop always you're afraid to be alone, afraid to be by yourself. You always gotta have a nigga around. You broke up with one guy, one day later the women is in the relationship again with some other guy to rebound. That's a character flaw. You ain't even healed from the last situation. You don't even know yourself. Women that always got to be tethered to some damn man somewhere. No good niggas at that. You can take some time to understand yourself and develop your inner woman and your inner goddess. And she calling herself Tan the God. That's just obnoxious. I'm telling you, these people, they be in this occult shit. She in the music industry calling herself Tan the God. These niggas, they be in that occult industry, and what they don't understand not a fucking thing about this science and this information. They're not mature enough, and they end up getting fucking smoked. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna get my ass off of here. This is sad. Yes, but RIP, and also for the families. Again, I'm wishing y'all the healings on both sides, growth on both sides, healing, growth, and peace. And happiness on both sides. And I really do hope that y'all could come out on top from this. And bygones can be bygones, and y'all don't lead us into more destruction, into more bullshit.